We are here with award-winning singer, songwriter, and R&B artist, Kevin Ross. Thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So on August 14th, you released volume 2 of your Audacity series. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So I know Audacity was actually initially supposed to be a whole album. So what made you want to release it in 2 parts? And can you explain the vision behind the project?
Yes. So the reason why I broke it up into 2 parts is just to make it more like digestible. I know that I'm a artist that's still in discovery, so people are still getting to know about me. So it's nothing worse than you kind of like press and play on somebody that you're not too sure about. You haven't really heard their music, and it's like I have to listen through 14 records. So instead of doing that, I decided to break it up in 6 on the first one and then 7 on this last one. And so then we have another installment called Audacity Complete, where we bring volume 1 and volume 2 together with a couple of new records, and really kind of make it a complete album. And so Audacity is really just being audacious in your truth. Whatever your truth is on a personal or professional level, to be audacious enough to make sure that you stand firm on what you believe in and what your truth is. And I think that's most important, especially during these times right now. So,
100%.
yeah.
Absolutely. Why is standing in your truth so important to you personally?
If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. And I truly do believe that, we're all here with a specific purpose and mission, and we're all interwoven and connected together. So, that's why when people say your net worth or your network is your net worth, that's truly something that is really kind of echoes the whole point of we're all connected. You know what I mean? Like we're all one. So we need each other. But in order for that to work properly and to function properly, then you have to be truthful with yourself and lay in that, because it's hard to really get the true essence of somebody when they're hiding behind so many different layers.
And for the 3rd installment, do you have any cool collabs on this half of the album, or 3rd?
Honestly, I really wanted to do Audacity just a me thing. And so, it was kind of music that for people who may have known about me prior, I hadn't put music out in 2 years. Right. And so it was because I was getting off of my label and starting up my own company and all of this stuff. So I didn't want it to be kind of like masked and like, hey, I'm back with this feature. Yeah. It was more so like, I wanted for people to hear where I was, and I still want people to hear where I'm at. Just on a solo level, features will come, it'll come. But right now, I just wanted to make sure Audacity is what it is.
And speaking of the labels, I'd love to talk about the creation of your own recording label. So you were signed with Motown Records and now created a music group. So can you briefly talk about your reasoning behind leaving Motown Records and start creating your own label?
I believe that it's important for each and every person to know what they're worth. And so, I just don't think that the situation that I was in was conducive, and it didn't allow for me to know what I was worth. And so when you don't know what you're worth, you don't even know what level you're like operating and functioning on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So for me, it was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna leave now before they dump me. So it was a better scenario where it's like I understand what I can do, what I need to do. And even though at times you may not feel like you're ready, when you see the signs and when God is kind of showing you a way to kind of depart from something, follow your instinct. And that's what I did. And I decided to create Our Society Music Group because I'm a true artist advocate at heart. I look out for the creative first because I understand. I'm in their shoes. And so there's nothing worse than to be in situations where you love what you do and all you want to do is create. And then there's people that are there that take advantage of you. They take advantage of that gift. And so it leaves you bitter or distorted, and it doesn't allow for you to perform or to put out the true creativity that the world deserves. And so I'm here to be an aid on the artistic side and to be of help.
I mean, you understand firsthand, right? As a creative artist, you can help other artists. That's amazing. I love that. And so I want to talk about kind of how you got your start. You appeared first on BET's 106 in Parks and you won.
Oh, wow.
I know, bringing it way back. So that really caught the attention from others in the music industry. And then you have worked from then with some incredible artists from Tank, Trey Songz, Jamie Foxx. But the song you wrote with Toni Braxton called Sex and Cigarettes was Grammy nominated. So I want to, what was it like working with Toni, and what did it feel like when you heard that it was Grammy nominated?
Well, honestly, like when we wrote that record, we didn't write it in mind for Tony. It was just more
Wow.
so like, oh, okay, we wrote a good record, and it laid there for a couple of months, and then I guess shout out to Antonio Dixon, played it for Tony, and Tony loved it, and she recorded it, and I was just like, oh, cool, another placement, awesome.
Right.
And then the Grammys came around that year, and they were like, Sex and Cigarettes nominated for such and such, and I'm like, what is that? Does that technically mean that I'm Grammy nominated now? I like that title.
Yeah.
So,
With that. That's really, really incredible. Like, and you're so deserving. You're so talented all around. So. Absolutely. And also the single that you wrote with Trey Songz, Touch and Lovin', was a Billboard #1 hit, platinum selling single as well. So what is the songwriting process like for you?
Songwriting process for me is just really like observing. Like I'm observing people's nature, like how they, move and how they, talk and all that stuff. It's important like to add that to the songs because you want it to feel real. You want it to feel believable. You know what I mean? And you can't have that level of a song or to sell that or for it to reach whatever unless it is somewhat believable. So, I take pride in that as far as in my songwriting to be authentic to who I'm writing for and just, being able to like be malleable and collaborative in the process where it's like, they're like, I like the idea, but I wouldn't say it like that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's figure out how you would say it so that, you can record it. So.
And do you like sit down and like write words out that you're thinking in your head, or how does that work?
Not a lot of times. So like for a lot of the placement stuff, it's really, I start singing melodies. I lay down kind of a structure of a melody.
Wow.
And then it's kind of like wood. It's like, how like wood has already kind of a natural form and a shape. And like sometimes it already kind of says what it wants to be. So that's kind of what my mumbles and melodies do. So it's my job to just carve it out, craft it out, and then fine tune from there once we have kind of a good skeleton or body.
That's so cool. So like the melody is like the basis, and then from that you can work on it from there.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's the foundation. I love that. Your song, Long Song Away, which was a Billboard #1 hit as well, you're just killing it, is quite different from a lot of other R&B songs that you hear about like sex and drugs. It talks a lot about patience and faith and trust. So why was that something you felt important to sing about? I've
always wanted to be different, and not even want to be. I've always been different. So it was like me just walking in that to say, okay, like I can write the other stuff, but as for me as an artist, what am I going to bring different that I'm, that hasn't already been presented? And so Long Song Away was definitely kind of a shot in the dark as it pertains to how people were going to receive it. And I didn't know, and I'm glad that people enjoyed it and liked it so much that they,
they loved it. I feel like a lot of the comments as well I saw were like you brought it back to like old school R&B. That's what it used to be, like love and trust.
Yeah.
And so that's really cool, and I feel like that's why people like relate to it so much.
Indeed.
Yeah. And so I would love to talk about your new series called The Mashup Show. Can you tell us about this series and where we can watch it?
The Mashup Show is on Facebook Live. It happens usually every Monday, but of course for this week, it's happening on Tuesday at 8 p.m. This week is Amina Butterfly from Love and Hip Hop.
Oh, very fun. Okay.
Yes. So the premise of the show is really, like I said, it goes back to being an artist advocate and just being a creative. So whether it is, you can come onto the Mashup Show, or a singer, a rapper, a painter, whoever's just creative and about the arts, it's a place for us to have fun. It's nothing where it's like you're being grilled. We have a segment called the Mashup Round where it's kind of like finish the melody. I sing a couple of phrases and you sing the last two phrases of it. So it's a really fun, format for people to just kind of really chill. And it's a vibe for sure. So I encourage people to go and check out the Mashup Show because with every artist, like we're all connected in a different way. So it may not even be for them singing. It may be, we may start reciting rap lyrics, or we may say, do you know this work? Do you know this painting? So it's, it's different ways that we can incorporate other artists inside of it to make it fun for them, but also that stays true to their craft. And it's just kind of a test to say, okay, like you're, if you're a visual artist, if you're a painter, you should know this, you know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. So, we try to mix it up and have a good time with it for sure.
That's awesome. I'm excited
Yeah.
to see more of it because I've seen a few episodes and they're awesome. So,
Thank you.
so who is an artist you would love to have on the show who you haven't had on yet?
I mean, of course, I would love to work with Stevie Wonder. I would love to have him on the show.
That would be
I think that would be awesome because Stevie's like really like he's hilarious like in interviews and stuff like that. So yeah, that would be a person that I would want on the show. But honestly, I mean, come one, come all. I want for everybody to at least like, you know, enjoy it. You know what I mean? And it's plenty of space. It's plenty of room. You know, the idea actually came from the fact that it's like, you know, I felt like it wasn't enough outlets that really celebrated, you know what I mean, artistry more so than it did, like, I guess, tantalize the personal life of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so for me, I was like, you know what? Let me celebrate the artist in a way that I know how. And it's just, you know, it's coming from my voice. You know what I mean? So it's really fun.
And I'd love to talk about your song in Audacity Volume 2, God is a Genius. It's receiving amazing reviews. What platform can we hear that song and also the rest of the EP?
Absolutely. So Audacity Volume 2, you can find it on all DSPs, which means digital streaming platforms if you didn't know. Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, you name it, it's on there. YouTube Music, Google Music, which it won't be for long. Amazon Music, it's there. So, but we've really been enjoying it. It's had some great receptance, like you said. And I just enjoy connecting with my base and actually like finding new people that are just getting put onto my music and, you know, getting discovered. It's really cool.
And what is your vision behind God is a Genius? Because honestly, it's an amazing song. I love it.
Thank you. Honestly, I wanted to have a song that had layers, you know, like I know when people first hear it, they're like, is this a gospel song? It's like, no, it's an everybody song. You know, I'm an R&B artist, but I am a Christian man first. And so with that being said, I wanted to make sure that people understood that it's like, I do believe that God is truly a genius. I don't believe in coincidence. I don't believe in happenstance. I don't believe in necessarily luck. So with that being said, I believe everything is designed. Everything is orchestrated, even love. So if I meet a wonderful woman and I meet her and she was born and raised, you know what I mean, across the world, you can't tell me that this was just by happenstance. This is all in design. So whether we're meant to be together forever or just to share particular moments, we got to cherish that. You know what I mean? And so, you know, there was nothing that me nor her or vice versa or whatever that could do about it. So for that, God is a genius. And so I just wanted to create an anthem of that.
He is. Besides your Audacity series, what other products do you have coming up in the near future?
Outside of Audacity Complete, that'll be coming in October. We're working on a initiative with Empire, which is a distribution company that is out of San Francisco. My actual company is distributed through them as well. They're joining forces with Colin Kaepernick's
very cool
organization. And so we're doing kind of like a soundtrack and just making sure that we donate all of the proceeds to, you know, organizations that need it, especially during this time frame. So I wrote and produced a couple of songs on there. So I'm really excited about that. I was able to collaborate with some cool artists and, you know, we'll see how that pans out. But that is definitely coming, hopefully by the end of the year as well.
Okay, so, perfect. So we'll keep an eye out. Will you be announcing that on your social media, your Instagram?
For sure.
Perfect.
Sure.
Okay, we'll keep a lookout for that. So to end, we always do something a little fun. So we ask some random questions. So what is your favorite midnight snack?
Favorite midnight snack has to be trail mix, which is odd. Like the M&Ms and stuff in there too. Yeah.
That's a good because it's easy, you know, if you're feeling a little
exactly.
And who was your childhood celebrity crush?
Ooh, wow, that's a good one. Childhood celebrity crush. It just depends on the level of childhood, but I'm gonna just say Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys was like. Definitely, I was crushing on her super hard.
Okay, super hard.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And last one, 3 things you never leave the house without.
Ooh, phone, wallet, and keys.
Funky wallet. So funny. Whenever you leave, like whenever I go to the bar with my friends, are like, Funky's wallet.
Yeah, listen, that's the order.
Exactly. Oh my God, I love it. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today, and we can't wait to hear Audacity Complete.
But in the meantime, make sure that you stream Audacity Volume 2 on all platforms, and make sure that you follow me at Kevin Ross Music, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You name it, I'm on it.
Absolutely. You heard it here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.